Hey guys, what's going on? Retire on Dividends here. Trying to do yet another video, screen recording wise. This time, I'm going to show my ugly face and I'm going to do a review of BlackRock and, their new covered call ETF, or at least one of them. They have two coming out. One is for the S&P, one's for the Russell. But for this video and the purposes of this video, we'll just cover the S&P 500 one. So as you can see on the screen, this is on iShares.com, which is by BlackRock, of course, because BlackRock owns everything. But anyway, it just came out. But the first thing you see right at the top, expense ratio, 0.25%. Obviously, very respectable expense ratio for a covered call ETF. So, but when you're BlackRock, you could probably charge nothing and get away with it because they make so much money. So obviously, they're bringing not only more competition, but competition with the expense ratio piece. But we'll see. We'll see what else they got going on here. So obviously, I'm going to go through the prospectus in a second. But first, we'll just see what the website has, for us. This stupid thing is shaking. All right, so it's a target enhanced income. No, it says why. First of all, the ticker is awful. IVVW. Like the ticker to me actually matters. Like I know it really shouldn't, but it's just like who wants to say IVVW daily? Like if I had to cover this daily, IVVW, I don't know. Right now, that's a mark in the negative column. Anyway, it's a target enhanced income. It seeks enhanced monthly income by selling monthly covered calls on an index representing the U.S. large cap equity. So obviously they sell monthly covered calls. Diversification, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Easy access, okay. Let's see what their investment objective says. It's a fund that seeks to track the investment results of an index that reflects the strategy of holding blah, blah, blah while selling. Okay, so there, it doesn't say income first. It's not looking at income only. Let's see, performance, hypothetical 10,000. We don't care about that. This is the important part, the key facts. I wonder how big. It looks like the picture is humongous on the screen. I'm not sure how to move it. Oh, there you go. That's a little better, I think. Yeah, that's better. Um, So yeah, net assets of the fund, they have $14 million already. I mean, look at the inception date, March 14th. Right now, it's March 18th. How the hell? All right, outstanding shares 300,000. The last closing price was 49.68. So, they're not going with the $20 trend. Most of these funds, they start at $20 because obviously it's an attractive price for us schleps, the schlep investors. The distribution frequency is monthly. Okay, obviously they better be monthly. All right, that's it for that. What else we got? We got nothing important. Business involvement. What else we got? Nothing. Here's the fees. So management fee is 0.22%. Acquired fund expenses 0.03. So overall 0.25%. So that's reasonable. Here's the holdings. So they own iShares Core S&P 500 ETF. So how do they own the S&P? They own it, of course, through their own fund. And their own fund is IVV. Hence the ugly ticker IVVW, right? So, double dipping. Okay, they're double dipping a little, right? They're going to own their own fund. Whatever. They all do that, I guess. So the next one is cash, obviously. And then the next one is oh, look at this. Was that BlackRock Treasury freaking fund? Triple dipping here. So it looks like they're going to own their own money market. I mean, good Lord. All right, and then they're going to sell calls on the SPX. Okay, so that's what they do. They own their S&P 500 ETF. Essentially, that'll be the collateral, on top of the cash and the money market fund. And then they'll sell calls on the SPX, okay? And they'll sell calls 1 month out. So if you look at the expiration date here, where is it? Actually, there's no, it just shows April 24. Finally figured out how to scroll on the MacBook. Oh, there it is, April 19th. All right, strike price 52.15. What the hell? Oh my God. See? Dangerous with a MacBook. I shouldn't be going making videos on MacBook already. Anyway, let's keep going. No, what is this? What is this? Okay, that's the how to buy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so anyway, let's get down to it. So here's the prospectus link. Obviously, I pulled that up already. I highlighted most of it. I didn't actually finish going through it, but like, can I make this full screen? Maybe not. All right. So here's the prospectus. Again, this is for IVVW. It's called iShares S&P 500 Buy Right ETF. Great. Keep going. Why do we go through the prospectus? Because, you know, they wrote it, they filed it, they must live by it. Look at that right on the bottom. Enhance 1% out of the money. Okay. They put that's a surprise that they put it right there, but obviously I highlighted it too. You'll see it. But let's get into it. All right, number 1 seeks to track the investment results of the index. Okay, so it seems like capital appreciation or appreciation in general is important, but they're selling 1-month call options. And they said 1% out of the money. How are you going to track the investment? I don't know. Anyway, all right, 0.25% we know. And by the way, 0.25%, that's a good price. But keep in mind, Defiance, they sell puts daily on a daily basis. So if this fund sold options daily, you're not getting 0.25%, okay? So let's not give them too much credit with this expense ratio. Also, YieldMax, they sell weekly calls. Essentially, they do transactions daily, you know? So again, daily, every other day, weekly, and they charge 9.99%. I'm not going to say that's the right number, but it's essentially, it's almost worth it, right? For the amount of options they do. But when you sell one monthly covered call per month, 0.25%, okay, that makes sense, right? Think about it. 0.25%, 4 weeks in a month about, if they do it we'll call it 1 week a month, right? There you go. There's your quarter. If they do it 4 weeks out of the month like YieldMax, okay, that's 4 quarters, 0.99% or 1%. And then Defiance, they do it daily, every single day. So, and they still charge 0.99%. So it makes you like kind of realize, all right, maybe maybe those fees aren't that bad on Defiance and YieldMax. Anyway, let's keep going. So here it is, 1% out of the money, right? 1% out of the money. How are they going to make any capital gains if they're selling monthly calls 1% out of the money? I don't know. They're obviously going to get pretty damn good premium. And I believe like if you look at XYLD, that's the Global X version of the S&P covered call strategy. I believe, they do monthly on it. I believe they also do at the money. So this is essentially better because it's 1% out of the money, but you're not going to get much appreciation with 1% out of the money. I'm surprised they're doing 1% out of the money, to be honest, but maybe they'll offer more products that'll go further out of the money. I don't know. All right, what else? They write 1-month call options primarily on the S&P index. Yeah, duh. We know that. All right, what else we got? Yeah, I didn't highlight anything there. Nothing important. Each call option using the underlying index has a strike price closest to, again, 100% of the closing value of the option index 1 day prior to roll date. So 100% of the price, which is 1% out of the money. If on day prior to roll date, which is like the expiration date, the premium that an option writer would hypothetically receive on the new 101% call option is less than 5 basis points of the closing value of the options index on that day. The underlying index will instead select the call option with the strike price closest to 100% of the closing value of the index. So all this means is if the premium's not there with the 1% out of the money strike price, they'll sell calls, a little less or even at the money if needed. So it doesn't say they'll go above 1%. It says they'll possibly go below 1%. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. I see enough of these tight damn calls with YieldMax. And here's a very important piece. You guys love high yields. subject to, all right, where it is. All right. Dividends received from the underlying fund is subject to a cap of 2% of the fund's NAV per month. So 2% of the price, okay, per month. 2% times 12 months, 24%. The maximum yield you will get on this fund is 24%. 24% is really good, right? It's really good. But 24% plus essentially almost no capital appreciation, or it's capped at 1% a month. I don't know, man. I'm not seeing like the woo, nothing. There's no woo factor here. Nothing spectacular. All right, let's keep going. All this talks about risk, the fun, yeah, blah blah blah. Like I said, I didn't finish going through the whole. What is it? 25. How many pages is it? 52 pages. Okay. All right. So this again, most of the prospectus documents always just talk about risk. They have to talk about risk and tell you about risk to cover their asses. What else? What else? What else? Management. The investment advisor is BlackRock Fund Advisors. Okay, BlackRock does everything. Portfolio managers Jennifer Sue, Orlando Montalvo, Greg Salvage. I don't know what these people are. Paul Whitehead. That's an interesting name. Yeah, they're responsible for the day-to-day management of the fund. Each portfolio manager supervises a portfolio management team. Okay, great. All right, what else we got here? More information about the fund. Again, more about risk, 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 risk. What else we got? Risk and more risk, which is important, guys. I'm just, again, I'm not going to read you the risk because most of you will fall asleep. But yeah, prospectus again is mostly risk. But again, we got through the most important stuff, which is all that matters, really. In my opinion, like for informational purposes, you guys care about the yield, you care about what they're doing, you care about the price of the stock, and you care about who does it, right? So let me go back to that one, the first page where it says more information. Let's just see what it says. I don't want to make you guys dizzy, even though you probably are already, but let's just take a look. Oh my God, my hand. I can't scroll anymore. Oh, here it is. More information about the fund. BFA, investment advisor, ETFs that are fun. Yeah, it doesn't really say. Yeah, nothing too exciting. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's another fund, like I said, the other fund is for the Russell. So if we go to, how do you get to their ETFs? Our funds, view all funds. Okay, that's going to be fun. I'm sure they have a million. iShares, let's sort by, can we sort by inception date? There you go. Boom. All right, so there's the IVVW, okay? And then here it is, iShares Russell 2000 buy right. Okay, so they both came out on the same day. Actually, let's compare some of the things. Let me go back. All right, so they came out the same day. The expense ratio is cheaper for the S&P 500 than the Russell version, because I assume their Russell version of the ETF expense ratio is higher because I believe they own more individual. There's more monitoring, I'll say. Net assets are around the same, so it looks like they essentially started with the same amount of money. But yeah, outside of that, there should be really no. Oh, there was one thing I saw. They go 2% out of the money on this one, right? 2%. If I go to their prospectus, or it might say it on the website. Fees. Yeah, there's the fees. There's the 0.39%. And look, double dipping, baby. IWM. No money market yet for this. But so they own IWM, they own cash, and then they got the this is the covered call, yeah. So what's strike price? So they strike price 2015 for RTY, looks like. Okay. Exposure breakdown. Yeah. So if I click this, let's see how this comes up on the Mac. All right, it's good, not bad. Now if we scroll, actually it'll be on the first page like the other one, right? No, no. Oh, there it is, right? Yeah, 2%. You see it? 2% out of the money. How do you zoom in? You zoom in with this thing? Nope. Okay. Yeah, so that's the only difference I saw between the two funds. But why are they going 2% out of the money on the Russell? Because it's more volatile, right? So they could bring in more premium and then go further out of the money. So they're probably going to yield around the same. Actually, let's see if I could find that one other thing. How much, like the cap, right? The cap, what they're paying. Let me zoom in here. There you go. All right, where's the cap? 2% on the money. Underlying. There it is. Subject to a 2%. Okay, so they're both going to pay around 24% yield maximum, which tells me it's probably going to be like, maybe 16 to 24%. And 1 to 2% out of the money, 1% for the S&P, 2% for the Russell one. So, my opinion, I'm not buying this. That's for sure. I'm not impressed. I don't see the only plus I see about this fund is more competition and a lower expense ratio, which will kind of wake up the other funds to say, okay, maybe I'll lower my price. But again, they're doing monthly covered calls, so it's not that hard. You know, so did they earn, 0.39%? You're touching it once? Okay. These essentially could put like Curve, again, Curve does the underlyings, but I think Curve charges what, 0.99%, and they do monthly. So they need to wake up with their expense ratio. But yeah, I think it's good for competition. It's good again for the price ranges. At least make them other companies think about it. Outside of that, I mean, me personally, I'm not impressed enough to buy it. So, but you guys may be. This is why I wanted to cover it, to give you guys some review and opinion on it. From a schlep on YouTube. You never know. Some people listen to schleps. But anyway, guys, this is not financial advice. Clearly, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm here for your fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun with this quick review. Again, I'm on lunch break. So hit the like button, at least for that, right? I paused. I skipped my jog so you guys can get a quick review of this fund. So we'll see how you feel about it. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. Are you going to buy this fund? If so, why are you buying it? If not, why are you not buying it? Also, do you like the review, or do you like my ugly face in the way, or should I get rid of the face? Should I just do the screen? I'm thinking I'll just do the screen because I'm not sure the purpose unless you like my hand gestures and facial reactions. I don't know. I'm new to the MacBook recording, so hopefully it came out well. But either way, I just want to say thank you for watching, guys, as always, and I will talk to you soon. Hope you enjoyed this video. Later.